July 23, 2008, at approximately 01:30, over in the city of New Orleans, Louisiana, the tanker Tinto Maro was southbound, while the tug Mel Oliver was pushing one loaded red flag barge, was crossing from the east bank to the west bank. After repeated attempts to get a hold of the Mel Oliver, the Tinto Maro wound up colliding with the barge, resulting in approximately 280,000 gallons of product being spilled into the Mississippi River and the loss of the barge.
Mel Oliver, come in.
Oh, but the man sleeping in the rack's gonna really hate it.
Over 16, Mel Oliver, come in, Cap.
Traffic, Mel Oliver, come in, Cap. You crossed the bow of a ship coming at you.
Come in, Mel Oliver, back on that son of a bitch. I'm gonna run right over the tow, Cap.
That's there ain't no bounds, just playing the Channel Bridge.
There ain't. Answering, I'm blowing the whistle.
Welcome. Fine. Mel Oliver, back down, Captain. You crossed the bow of a ship.
Over to the east bank. Out of breath to aim a wreck, boy.
Governor Nick, this ain't good, man. We're coming right on him. We're backing hard on the ship. Governor Nick, we just took his tow out. The boat, but the barge is right in front of us, and we're running it over.
Roger, we got you.
Man, Mel Oliver.
In addition to the clear violations of the rules of the road, the Mel Oliver had other issues. The only licensed wheelman that was on the board was an apprentice mate, and he wasn't even a fully licensed wheelman. The captain of the vessel had left and gone home to deal with issues back in Illinois. He was sentenced to 3 years' worth of probation. The company, DRD Towing, was found guilty in subsequent suits, and the company itself was put on probation for 2 years and fined $200,000. In a separate incident, one of the co-owners, over obstruction of justice regarding the investigation into the incident, was sentenced to 21 months in prison, and he was fined $50,000. Despite operating the vessel improperly licensed, the apprentice mate also failed to adhere to the steering and sailing rules regarding narrow channels. This week we're going to take a look at the inland version of Rule 9. One thing that we're going to begin to see more frequently here, particularly in the steering and sailing rules, is we're going to see references to other rules. And so as we're going along, if we see a reference, I'm going to explain the brief on that reference. That way we have an idea and we're not having to jump around the book while you're trying to watch this videos. Steering and sailing rules, inland. Rule 9, narrow channels. And this week we'll be taking a look at the inland side of things. A, Part 1. The vessel proceeding along the course of a narrow channel or fairway shall keep as near to the outer limit of the channel or fairway which lies on her starboard side, as is safe and practicable. Part 2. Notwithstanding paragraph A1, which we just read, and Rule 14A, which deals with head-on situations, a power-driven vessel operating in narrow channels or fairways on the Great Lakes, Western rivers, or waters specified by the Secretary, and proceeding downbound with a following current, shall have the right of way over an upbound vessel, shall propose the manner and place of passage, and shall initiate the maneuvering signals prescribed by Rule 34A1, as is appropriate. The vessel proceeding upbound against the current shall hold as necessary to permit safe passing. Rule 34A1, states that vessels in sight, meeting or crossing, within 1/2 mile of each other, shall sound one whistle with the intent to leave the other to their port side, 2 whistles for starboard side, and 3 whistles for operating stern propulsion. B. A vessel of less than 20 meters in length or a sailing vessel shall not impede the passage of a vessel that can safely navigate only within a narrow channel or fairway. C. A vessel engaged in fishing shall not impede the passage of any other vessel navigating within a narrow channel or fairway. D. A vessel shall not cross a narrow channel or fairway if such crossing impedes the passage of a vessel which can safely navigate only within that channel or fairway. The latter vessel shall use the danger signal prescribed in Rule 34D, which is 5 short blasts, if in doubt as to the intention of the crossing vessel. E. Part 1. In a narrow channel or fairway when overtaking, the power-driven vessel intending to overtake another power-driven vessel shall indicate her intention by sounding the appropriate signal prescribed in Rule 34C, and shall take steps to permit safe passing. The power-driven vessel being overtaken, if in agreement, shall sound the same signal and may, if specifically agreed to, take steps to permit safe passing. If in doubt, she shall sound the danger signal prescribed in Rule 34D. Again, 5 short blasts. Now, if we remember, in an overtaking situation, you have the give way and the stand on. The vessel being overtaken is the stand on vessel. So, typically the stand on vessel must maintain course and speed. Now, in a narrow channel, you don't exactly have a whole lot of meeting room for vessels that are coming towards you and for overtaking. And so what you often wind up needing to do is actually request that the stand-on vessel reduce their speed or alter their course to move over just a little bit more to help facilitate the overtaking maneuver. 2. This rule does not relieve the overtaking vessel of her obligation under Rule 13. Part F. A vessel nearing a bend or an area of a narrow channel or fairway where other vessels may be obscured by an intervening obstruction shall navigate with particular alertness and caution and shall sound the appropriate signal prescribed in Rule 34E, the blind bend signal, which is one prolonged blast. And then G. Every vessel shall, if the circumstances of the case admit, avoid anchoring in a narrow channel. Obviously, shut out fog, things of that nature, and you need to drop anchor. Typically the ship pilot will dictate that, and you'll stop in the middle of the channel. In that case, there's not going to be much traffic running in these types of situations. It makes it safe to do so. Question of the week. Because nobody guessed or even responded to the question of the week, we're going to ask it again. This week's question, both international and inland. Which vessel must have a gong or other equipment which will make the sound of a gong? And again, the hint here is what size vessel. Again, please include your answers in the comments below. Next week, we're going to take a look at Rule 9, the international rules, which do vary from the inland rules. And we're going to start seeing that as we continue on in the rules. There are going to be more rules where there's more than just a small word change or an extra piece of information or an extra subset. There's going to be significant changes in the rules that change their meaning in terms of how you act. So again, we'll take a look at all that going forward. Folks, please remember to click like, subscribe. Please pass this information on to anybody that you may know that might take an interest in this. And please, again, stay safe out there, and we'll see you back next week.